November 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy was shot 3 times and pronounced dead at 1 p.m. that afternoon. An hour and 40 minutes later, Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn into office. Can you imagine how scary that must have been for Johnson? Because, like, 1 minute you're the vice president and you got a great president and everybody loves him. And you just have to just kind of sit there and be like, yeah, I'm just the vice president. And suddenly the president dies and you have to take over a whole nation. That would be pretty scary. And you'd have some huge shoes to fill, especially if you were John F. Kennedy's vice president. The same thing happened with a guy named Joshua. He had a whole nation, Israel, to lead and look after, and not to mention they were God's chosen people. Plus, he had to take over after Moses. He was a huge leader who led the Israelites out of slavery from Egypt. And Joshua had the job of leading all these people after the death of such a great leader into the promised land. So Joshua's expectations were pretty high up there. But Joshua didn't have to even worry about that, even though he probably did, because he had the comfort of the Lord coming to him and reassuring him and encouraging him to do what he asked and telling Joshua that he would always be with him. In Joshua 1:5, the Lord speaks to Joshua and says, "No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you." So Joshua pretty much had the go-ahead of the Lord just to be with him and just to go and he would be with him. And Joshua had to defeat some people in the promised land, and yeah, that was kind of hard to do. But Joshua didn't have to fear his enemies or worry about God giving up on him, because all he had to do was be willing and serve the Lord. So if God puts us in a place of such great leadership, we should be ready and willing to serve him. The Lord continues to encourage and get Joshua pumped to lead the Israelites into the promised land. He tells Joshua to be strong and courageous, not once, but 3 times, in chapter 1, verses 6, 7, and 8. There was no way that Joshua could have led Israel into the promised land if he wasn't strong and courageous. But God didn't say it was going to be easy. So, because Joshua needed that strength and courage to become a great leader. Like, if a baby didn't have its mother, it couldn't, like, change its diaper, or it would have, like, snot on its face and, like, baby food on its hands and stuff, and it couldn't take care of itself, and it would just be totally helpless. And when we were babies, we all had our mothers to take care of us, and without God, we're like that helpless baby, and we have to rely on him. It's like when you get on a swing, and you just start swinging, and you're like flying through the air on the swing, and you just have to trust that the swings aren't going to break, and you're not just going to go flying and like hit the slide or something. But we just need to be able to trust God that he won't let us fall, and he is a trustworthy God. And he proves that to Joshua because he makes him a promise, and then he fulfills it, and he gives him the promised land through an amazing way at Jericho. And he continues to just be with Joshua all the days of his life, like he said to him when he was first starting out as a leader. And so today, I just want to ask you guys, like, what's holding you back from relying on God? If he gives you, like, a promise and a job, we need to be able to just rely on him and trust him that he's going to, like, take care of us and not worry that he's just going to give up on us. And the Lord also told Joshua just to meditate on his word day and night and just totally rely on him and just not give up on him either, and that God wouldn't give up on him either. And God follows through, and he's a trustworthy God, and yeah.